Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. Could we please rise for Guru Puja? Hare Krishna. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Sadma Bandomo Savadana Mate Bandomo Savadana Mate Yara prasade bai he baba toriya kya he baba toriya Krishna prapti hoya hoite Krishna prapti hoya hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shite Te Koriya Kya Arana Koriyo Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Utamarati Ye prasade pure sarva asha Ye prasade pure sarva asha Chakudana dilo che janme prabhu se Devi Gyani Tre Prakashito Devi Gyani Tre Prakashito Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Avidya Vinashagate bhaktiya hoite avidya vinasha jate Vedigaya haracharito Vedigaya haracharito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janala Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janala Bandhu Lokena Lokira Jivana Lokena Lokira Jivana Prabhu Korodoya Deho Mori Pada Chaya Prabhu Korodoya Deho Mori Pada Chaya Ebe jasu kushu tripuvana Ebe jasu jisu tripuvana Srila Prabhupada Tita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitin Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vasithyadishatarine Gauravani Pracharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Prabhupada. Jaya Radha, Radhanath, Radha, Radhanath, Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astatra Sata Shishimad Abhay Charanar Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astatra Sata Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Ananta Kori Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री वेद गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोपा गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की नीलाचल जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की, गंगा माया जमुना माया की, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की, the Lordships Sri Sri Radha Radhanath ki, the Lordships Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, the Lordships Sri Sri Nitai Gaura Hari ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaur Prema Nande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome on this beautiful Sunday to today's Sunday Love Feast program. So the next part of our program is our class. And for this especially, we humbly ask you, we humbly remind you to please turn off your cell phones or have them on silent. So for class today, we have His Grace Smita Krishna Das. Haribol. Smita Krishna Prabhu has been a devoted member of ISKCON for over 30 years. And he has served in that time in various capacities, including spiritual teacher, outreach coordinator, and course developer. He's made invaluable contributions to the Bhaktivedanta College of Education and Culture, and he continues to inspire and motivate students at the college. Outside of his spiritual pursuits, Smita Krishna Das is known as Dr. S. Ramson, and he has been a respected lecturer at the UKZN, and currently he is a lecturer at the School of Education at the Varsity College. So, as we can see, devotees, Prabhu is dedicated both to spiritual pursuits and academic pursuits, and this is an example to us all. So today we are fortunate to have him share his wisdom and insight on a very practical, pertinent topic to us all, and that is the necessity of a genuine guru. So we welcome His Grace Smita Krishna Das. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for offering me the opportunity to render some service by the kind invitation of Alanath Prabhu, who coordinates the Sunday program. And thank you to all of you for attending the Sunday Love Feast program. The devotees who are seated on the benches, come forward. Just come sit on the chair, then I can interact with you. Now that you're so far back. If you can manage, that is. Thank you very much. This is just easier within the scope of my vision. So welcome to all of you. And I note that there are one or two people that are new. I spoke to some of our guests. Well, you're not a guest now. This is your home. So after millions of lives in your trajectory of going through birth after birth, birth, death, you've come back home. So welcome home to, there's a family at the back there sitting there, give them a round of applause. And there was another gentleman by the name of Neil, but I think he had a little baby, so they must have gone outside. So how many of you coming first time? You also coming first time? You're coming first time? Let's welcome her as well. Haribol. Thank you for making time on your Sunday to come here. It's a very rare opportunity for one to be in the presence of the most beautiful Sri Sri Radha Radhanath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Giri Govardhan, Srila Prabhupada, and in the association of devotees. When you become more and more convinced of this Sangha, this Sadhu Sangha, then it'll become your life and soul. And you'll find that you have developed this higher taste for this, and when you don't come, then you'll miss it so much. So try and be open to receiving knowledge about how we can advance more and more spiritually, and see how we can implement and apply those things to our lives. So we'll chat a little bit, a few minutes, and then we'll speak about the necessity of a genuine guru. Okay. So how many of you know the Samsara song for Mangal Aarti? Let's see, hands up. You have a microphone there. Give Jenny so she can keep chorus as well, and that'll make it a little more complete. So in the mornings, we sing at Mangal Aarti, whether you're at the temple or home, we sing this song called Samsara Davanala, or it's called Shri Shri Guru Astakam. 8 verses in glorification of the Guru. So that will be appropriate to sing. I'll just sing 4 verses of that, and we'll look at the translation before we begin. Or rather, let me go to the translation. So the first 4 verses are translated like this. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy. Just as a cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it, so the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master who is an ocean of auspicious qualities. The second verse, chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing musical instruments, the spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind, sometimes his hair stands on end, he feels quivering in his body, and tears flow from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Third verse translation. The spiritual master is always engaged in the temple worship of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciples in such worship. They dress the deities in beautiful clothes and ornaments. Sri Sri Radha Radhanath ki jai. Clean their temple and perform other similar worship of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. And the fourth one, the spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, analyzed as that which is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. So Krishna is having a good time eating all these things. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavat Prasad, he is satisfied. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So in the course of our class, I will bring up the translation of 1 or 2 other verses to make a point and have evidence for the discussion. Samsara dava nalalida loka tranaya karunya gana ganadvam.
Samsara dava nalalida loka tranaya karunya gana ganasvam.
Praptasya kalyana Gunanavasya Bande Guru Shri Charanarvinda.
Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Varitra Madhyan Manasura Sena.
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitra Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasura Sena.
Romanchakampa Shutarango Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda.
Romanchakampa Srutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Shri Vigraharadhana Nityanana Shringaratan Mandira Majanado.
Shri Vigrahara Nananityanana Shingaratanva Nidamajanado.
Yuktasya Bhaktam Chanayunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda.
Yuktasya Bhaktam Srananujatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadhana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha.
Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swayana Tripta Naribhakta Sangha.
Kridveva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda.
Ritreva Triptim Bhajata Saseva Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Vande Guru
Shri Charanada Vrinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Samsara Dava Nalalida Loka Tranaya Karunya Ganaganadva.
Samsara Dava Nadavidha Loka Pranaya Karunya Ganaganatva.
Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda.
Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vrinda.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
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 Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Haribol.
Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanad ki, Shri Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Hari ki. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So, the glorification of the spiritual master begins the day of the devotee. Because it is through the spiritual master that we can access the spiritual world. So, when you came in earlier, we began with Guru Puja by offering the worship to Srila Prabhupada, who is the ambassador of the spiritual world. And as I explained, through Srila Prabhupada we can access the spiritual world. So we begin by doing the Guru Puja. So I'm not sure if today I saw some delay on the traffic. Maybe some of you got late for that. But it's important that we come for the Guru Puja. To be here in time, on time for that. So when we sang Guru Puja, that song, Shri Guru Charana Padma, that song also translates into such a beautiful poetry. And those of you who know it by heart, you can say it with me. It starts by, the lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates, and by him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and the master of the devotees. O Master, please be merciful unto me. Give me the shade, or give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So that's a song in honor of the devotee. See, there's some visitors in the passage, in the foyer. They want to come take darshan. Call them. Okay. So we are looking at the topic, the necessity of a genuine spiritual master. So in the topic itself, there are 2 points. Who can tell me? It's just a short sloka, the necessity of a spiritual master. What is the 2 points in there? The necessity of a genuine guru. Sorry, that was the topic given to me. So what are the 2 points? Prabhu? What are the 2 points in the title? Yes, Prabhu? Necessity. Good. One is necessity. And the other? Yes? Who's speaking? It's you? Maithili, is it you? Who said?
What genuine?
Genuine. So 2 important things, necessity and genuine. So we have to consider these 2 points in the structure of this class, because there are so many scriptural directions about the necessity of a spiritual master. But at the same time, there are so many so-called gurus everywhere. Anybody who just dons some saffron, or somebody in some culture is the elder, they are taking on the role of a teacher, spiritual teacher. But then how do we know they are the genuine thing? Just as you go to a doctor whose credentials are well established, and you can question those credentials, you won't go to a quack. You'll go to a doctor who's qualified. Similarly, you would approach the guru and find out his credentials, before you want to submit yourself. It's recommended in the scripture. Of course, we do it in a polite way. We ourselves are not rude, antagonistic, and hostile. But you can find out, does the Guru fulfill the criteria given in the scriptures? Recently, my famous line, which I coined, I think, we say gurus and teachers and people, they like, something just happens, you say, oh, he popped out of the woodwork. That's a saying, a common saying. But now, because you're on social media, so many gurus are there, I've coined it too, they're popping out of cyberspace. So many people are gurus on social media. So many people present themselves as teachers. Now you got the ICT guru, the financial guru, the cook who's doing some recipes is now the kitchen guru. The word has become so cheapened that we don't know the actual deep, substantial meaning of that term. So today, in the course of our discussion, I hope we can unfold these things. So I'll offer my pranam mantras, which is the pranam means offering my respects to the line of the spiritual teachers. So just to my own spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada, and the body of the Vaishnavas. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangam langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Everybody, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody with a lot of might. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, Ravindra Prabhu. He's an expert. He's so good. Krishna gave him the talent and he's using it properly. So the Guru Pranam Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. It means, I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master who has opened my eyes which were blinded by darkness of ignorance with the torchlight of knowledge. And the second pranam mantra, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls, by whose mercy the dumb can speak eloquent words and the lame can cross mountains. Jai Shri Shri Radharanath ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So this topic, the necessity of a genuine guru, is an important topic as it is central to our spiritual life. So for those of you who are not initiated yet, it will lay the foundation for your further understanding as well as your progress in spiritual life. And for those of you who are initiated, it will provide a further consolidation, confirmation, and conviction of your submission to your spiritual master. So within the structure of ISKCON, for those of you who are new, Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, the head of ISKCON, and nobody can replace his preeminent position. All the other gurus you find, they are working under the position of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada created a system known as the Governing Body Commission, which is the managerial and spiritual authority in ISKCON. And they maintain and manage the affairs of ISKCON worldwide. And under them falls the component or the sannyas component, the ashram, the department. So the gurus. And there are many, many other such departments we have, right? So congregational development, there's the department of the, what is this? Champaklada, you are here. Your department? Oh yes, the Justice Ministry. Thank you. So there's like this Justice Ministry, and Champak Mataji is heading that up. So we have very qualified devotees in our midst who have taken on so much of service. Now this is global. So Guru Tattva. Tattva means the philosophical understanding, the philosophical truth. So Guru Tattva is a very complex matter. But why we're presenting it today is that you will be able to access this knowledge. We want a well-informed membership. We are not here just out of some ritual attendance. We are here to have a well-informed, so that you can make well-informed decisions. Blind following in our movement is not advocated. Therefore, there's so much of knowledge being presented in different fora, Bhaktivedanta College, and so many other educational fora. Soon we're going to have Keshava Maharaj coming to South Africa. He started the School of Bhakti. So when he comes, he'll speak about that. Maybe you'll want to enroll for some of his courses. So many wonderful things are being done to inform you, to enable you, to empower you, so that you can make these decisions. So the modus operandi for the class today is that how it will unfold is that I will cite various scriptural evidence according to certain headings. So I'll discuss the heading, then you know what we are talking about under that. So the first thing, who is a genuine spiritual master? That we have to understand by scriptures. And having that understanding, then you'll be able to positively discriminate. The word discrimination in itself is not negative or positive. But when it's attached to a modifier before it, it could be positive or negative. So if we say racial discrimination, gender discrimination, then it makes it negative. But the power of intellect is discriminatory in the sense that it understands what's to be done and what's not to be done. And that can only come when we allow our intelligence to be directed by a higher intelligence. You know that people say this one, think for yourself. It sounds good, but do you know what? That has been the cause of most of our problems. Because you think for yourself based on your sense enjoyment. What brings you the most sense enjoyment, that's what you think for yourself is what you should do. But by the scriptures, by the power of the sages, the saints, the Vaishnavacharyas, then we know how to direct that thinking. So who's a genuine spiritual master? So let's take the context of Srimad Bhagavatam, in which the great sages are gathered in the forest of Namasharanya. And this is just the beginning of Kali Yuga. So for 1,000 years before the end of Kali Yuga, the sages had foreseen what is to come in this Kali Yuga. And so they got together in Namasharanya forest. Now Namasharanya, why is it so important? It's described in Srimad Bhagavatam that the universe is built on a spoke. And the ends of the spoke, one of the ends is the Namasharanya. And therefore, by performing the spiritual sacrifice there, it's expected that it'll have a reverberation and effect throughout the universe. So the sages gathered, and then what did they do? They performed a yagya, fire sacrifice. Nimishe sheta rishak shonak daya. Satram svargaya lokaya. That's they wanted to perform a sacrifice to thinking that is the process. During the Dwapara Yuga, temple worship was the process, but they thought, let us do this fire yagya, and then it'll have an effect. But Srila Prabhupada says the only effect was that their faces got blackened by the soot of the fire. In other words, it didn't have its effect. Because the Kali Yuga, the process is Harinam Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name. So when they were seated in this forest and they were discussing amongst themselves, what should we do, what should we do? Then a great sage by the name of Sutta Goswami arrived, and the sages headed by Shonak Rishi immediately offered him the Vyasasan, the elevated seat, because they recognized his quality, his qualifications. And they asked him different questions. So the sages are now speaking to Sutta Goswami, and Shonak Muni is saying, this is in Bhagavatam 1:1-6. The sages are saying, the sages, Rishaya Uchaha, the sages are saying, Tvaye Kalu Puranani Seti Hashani Chanaga Akyatani Adithani Dharma Shastani Yaniuta. That, my dear Sutta Goswami, oh Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in the scriptures, famous for religious life, and in the Puranas, Seti Hashani. Tvaye Kalu Puranani. You're well versed in the Puranas. And Seti Hashani. Also in the Itihas, the histories, Ramayana and Mahabharata, and the histories as well. For you have gone through all of them under proper guidance, and you have also explained them. So let's see the qualities of a genuine spiritual master. You are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures, famous for religious life, and the Puranas and the histories as well. For you have gone through them, you have studied them, not in your own speculation, but under proper guidance. And that you have also explained them. So by studying, listening, hearing, and preaching, through your realization, you are able to explain them in different ways. So immediately, Srimad Bhagavatam is setting the background. This is even in the first canto, chapter 1, text 6 even, right in the beginning. This is the qualities of the spiritual master. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, a Goswami or a bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadeva must be free from all kinds of vices. The 4 major vices of Kali Yuga are illicit connection with women, animal slaughter, intoxication, speculative gambling of all sorts. A Goswami must be free from all of these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. That's why I took the chair. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above mentioned vices. He should not only be freed from all such vices, but must also be well versed in all revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. The Puranas are also part of the Vedas, and the histories like Mahabharata or Ramayana are also part of the Vedas. The Acharya or the Goswami must be well acquainted with these literatures. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can assimilate the knowledge of the revealed scriptures only by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravana, and explaining is called Kirtana. The two processes of Shravana and Kirtana are of primary importance to progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject. Srila Prabhupada. So we are establishing the position of the genuine spiritual master, and we know that the genuine spiritual master has his spiritual master, who has his spiritual master, and going all the way back to Krishna. So he is linked in this lineage, or what we refer to as the disciplic succession. The bona fide disciplic succession coming from Krishna, this is known as the Guru Parampara. So Parampara means disciplic succession. And there are 4 such bona fide Paramparas in this age. One is coming from Lord Shiva, one's from Lakshmi, one is coming from the 4 Kumaras, and one is coming from Lord Brahma. So this Brahma Sampradaya is where we are following. Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya, Vaishnav Sampradaya. From Lord Brahma, through the disciplic succession, to Madhva Acharya, through the sages of Gaudiya, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaudiya, Vaishnav Sampradaya. So it's bona fide. And therefore, we need to understand this. When I was younger, in my own family cultural background, there were so many of these different sadhus or pandits would do this and that puja and so on. So we kind of fortunately for me, I was skeptical. And I did not think that's going to be the sum and substance of my spiritual practice. So I used to question. And then I started to come to ISKCON. I started to read associated devotees. I heard this parampara and so on. So the next time I met one of the pandits who were doing this, I asked, so in which parampara are you? And firstly, he didn't know the word. Then I said, no, who's your guru? He said, well, it's my father. I said, oh, okay, wonderful. And who's your father's guru? No, he just one day decided he'll be a pandit. He read some books and became a pandit. So I learned from him. So very nice. So I gave my respects, as we do to every living entity, but then I did not take the knowledge anymore from such people. Because now we were empowered to know about the parampara and who's the genuine spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada is the head of ISKCON, and under him his leading disciples are continuing the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and they have become appointed as spiritual masters in our mission by the we have the legal system also of the GBC who appoints them after they have demonstrated sufficient spiritual acumen through their understanding, their projects, their behavior, etc. Right? But in this age, it's also very, very difficult position to have. Therefore, in the course of the history of spiritual teachers, you see that some of them also fall away from the path. They become distracted by Maya and they fall away. Fortunately, that's the exception rather than the rule. And therefore we have great examples of those who are fixed in the service of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So the next question we could ask is, why does one need a spiritual master? Anybody like to give an answer? We have established who the genuine spiritual master is. Now, why do you need him? We can inquire from him. All right. So that's one thing. Prabhu? He's the link to Krishna. So why can't I just read Srila Prabhupada's books? Who's speaking? Mataji? To lead you to the right path. Om Agyana Timirandasya. Take you out of the darkness of ignorance. Yes, all of your answers are correct. Different parts. Champakladi, you want to answer? Give you the mic.
Hi, Krishna. It's just like when you go to school, you could learn at home as well if you so choose to. But you have these textbooks, which is our spiritual books, the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. And trying to self-study them, especially since we are prone to the 4 defects. We have imperfect senses, our knowledge is already limited. You earlier said, Prabhu, as well, think for yourself. So if you, in the absence of having a spiritual master, it's likened to a teacher at school who can take you through the basics, 1 + 1 = 2, to maths on a higher level, where you're doing algebra and trigonometry, etc. So trying to do that and study those books by yourself is not going to be, give you the desired results.
Yes. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful metaphor. And we need a teacher to clarify the deeper aspects of spiritual knowledge. And the teacher who has properly studied them under guidance and has heard them and assimilated them and realized them can teach it to you. Right? There's also the principle of surrender is needed for a spiritual practitioner. And that just studying the books on your own, you still have your independence. But the processes of surrender and having a living guru means you submit yourself to the service of that spiritual master and take instruction for your spiritual life. So why does one need a spiritual master? The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, the reference, for your reference, 19.151, there's a verse, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Vij. That we are in this Brahmanda, in this universe, and we're floundering lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Birth, old age, disease, death. Birth, old age, disease, death. Sometimes in the upper planetary system, sometimes down. Round and round like a Ferris wheel. But you're still in this material nature. And you're entangled here. Brahmanda Bhumite, Brahmanda Brahmite, Konya Bhagyavan Jeev, but by the Bhagyavan, by the great fortune of meeting on your path the spiritual master, the pure devotee. Right? So out of the millions of wandering living entities, one who meets this spiritual teacher, pure devotee, is greatly fortunate to get that association. And then, by that association, by the spiritual master and by the grace of Krishna, one gets both Krishna and the spiritual master, who then does what? Plants in you, in your heart, Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service, which begins to grow into a creeper as you water it by hearing and chanting. As a good gardener, you take care of it. But we have to be cautious, because what happens in the garden around your plants if you're not cleaning it regularly? The weeds will grow, and the weeds of name, fame, prestige, offenses to other devotees, they can snuff out your Bhakti Lata Bij. So we've got to be so cautious. So that can be another discussion on the offenses, but right now we're establishing the Tattva. So one who has implicit faith, this is another reason, one who has implicit faith in the genuine bona fide spiritual master, in both Krishna and the spiritual master. Yasya Devi Parar Bhaktir Yata Devi Tato Guru Tata Guru. One who has implicit faith both in Lord Krishna and the spiritual master, what happens? All the imports, all the knowledge, all the understanding of the Vedic knowledge is automatically revealed in the heart of that devotee. We can see in our own spiritual masters now, when they were brahmacharis and grihastas and so on, and serving Srila Prabhupada, they were so involved in the service, they had no time to sit and study. Prabhupada recommended, yes, you study Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, read my books, don't just distribute it. He told them to do that. But some of them were with Prabhupada all the time. So simply by hearing Srila Prabhupada with great faith and having that conviction that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, all the imports of the Vedic knowledge were implanted in their heart. And then when they speak with realization and conviction. Right? You hear them, your consciousness can change. Why? Because Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. Sadhu Sangha, by the association of the devotees, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra, all the scriptures are saying by the association of the pure devotees. What will happen? Lava Matra, 1/11th of a second association is enough. Sarva Siddhi Hoy, all the perfections can be achieved by that. So this is the necessity. And Srila Prabhupada is very, very emphatic about this in his purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 135. One should always remember, Srila Prabhupada is saying, one should always remember that a person who is reluctant to accept a spiritual master and be initiated is sure to be baffled in his endeavor to go back to Godhead. One who is not properly initiated may present himself as a great devotee, but in fact he is sure to encounter many stumbling blocks on his path of progress towards spiritual realization, with the result that he must continue his term of material existence without relief. Such a helpless person is compared to a ship without a rudder, for such a ship can never reach its destination. So I think it's fairly straightforward, self-explanatory. So Prabhupada continues to say, it is imperative that one should therefore accept a spiritual master if he at all desires to gain the favor of the Lord. And then in another part of the purport, he says, if one thinks he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he's at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. So, Sri Jiva Goswami advises that one should not accept a spiritual master in terms of hereditary or customary, social and ecclesiastical conventions. In other words, you may have a tradition of simply accepting somebody in your culture or guru or family as the guru. But that is not the consideration of accepting a spiritual master, not in terms of hereditary or customary, social and ecclesiastical, religious conventions. One should understand how to accept in the proper way, and who is the genuine guru. So one will have to step out of that hereditary or customary idea. Okay, this has been our guru for the last 2 generations. We'll continue with him. Offer all respects, but see according to the qualities what you need to progress in spiritual life. Because often we see also in such situations, they haven't progressed. It's ritualistic. Once a while, there's a puja, they do this, they do that. But nobody's changing. Nobody's giving up meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex life. And the guru there in that situation also becomes patronized by the family because the big dakshin is coming. Right? Fees are stipulated. You so much this, that. You do this puja is that puja is that puja. And they're some of the wealthiest people. We see that in different traditions. Right? In the church, right, in the mosque, amongst the Hindu practices, so on. Different sadhus are earning a keep from that. So the Guru's business is to bring the disciples from darkness to light. And Srila Prabhupada says in Science of Self-Realization, at present everyone is suffering due to ignorance, just as one contracts a disease out of ignorance. If one does not know hygienic principles, he will not know what will contaminate him. Therefore, due to ignorance, there is infection and we suffer from the disease. So our disease is what? That we are agyana, timirandasya. We are in the darkness of ignorance because we don't know. By that ignorance we are entangled. So the Guru's business is to bring the disciple from darkness to light. So another reason why we should approach the Guru is because Lord Krishna instructs it. In Bhagavad Gita 4:34, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tadvadharshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. These self-realized souls can impart the knowledge unto you, the truth unto you. Why? Because they have seen the truth. Therefore, in this verse, they are referred to as Tattva Darshis, Tattva Darshina. Tattva. They have seen darshan. They have taken the darshan of the Tattva. They have seen the truth. Tattva Darshina. So by their practice. And therefore, how do we approach them? What are the 3 things in this verse? If you can remember the mood of approaching. Yes? Who's speaking? Yes, Karuna Sindhu. Submission, right? Service and inquiry. Submission, service and inquiry have to be there. The submission is not blind submission. It does not mean that we are brainwashed and we're part of some cult who says, and we're seeing this in some kind of evangelistic things happening in South Africa, that you eat the grass or have some snake poison or whatever. This is all concoctions. It is totally absurd. So not blind following. You can inquire. That's why it says submission, service, and inquire. But it's the mood. Hare Krishna, welcome. So the mood is of inquiry with a proper attitude. Even in a mundane situation, if you are standing somewhere and somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, you, can you direct me to this shop?" You say, "Hey, sorry, I won't speak to such a rude person." But if somebody comes up and you say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm lost. I'm looking for the shopping center. Are you from this area? Would you be able to direct me?" The person says, "Sure." And even, they may say, I'm walking that way. Come, I'll show you. There's a different mood because of the way you approach. So similarly with the spiritual master, you cannot approach in your arrogance. You approach with that submissive attitude that you genuinely want to find out. You genuinely know that you are in ignorance. You genuinely know that you don't know anything. And you genuinely know that what you've known so far has not helped you, but has entangled you further. So we approach the Tattvadarshi, the seer of the truth, the practitioner of the truth, who will be able to relieve you. So, the path of, in that purport, Srila Prabhupada continues to explain that the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult, and the Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. Not by independent study of books or knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. You make some progress. People have read Srila Prabhupada's books and they have made progress. We've given up so many things. But to sustain that and to continue that, one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. In the material world, the word servant, people cringe from that. Say, "Oh, you're a servant." It doesn't sound very prestigious. But the disciples of Srila Prabhupada were honored to say, "I'm the servant of Srila Prabhupada." And they are the disciples of the gurus. They're very, very excited to say, "I'm serving my guru. I'm the servant." And gurus say, "Yeah, he's a very nice servant of mine." Or, depending on the context, they may say, "She's my secretary." Right? Depending on who. Because if you're in a context of like affluent people in the business sector, they don't understand this whole idea of servant and so on. So you may have to say, "My servant." But we are proud to be the servant. We are proud to be the dogs of our spiritual master. So the spiritual master has this loving exchange. He cares for you. The deepest compassion is to care for your spiritual growth. So that's the compassion, right? He cares for you, and the disciple reciprocates by that. So, unless there's submission and service and inquiry from the learned spiritual master, this will not be effective. So, Prabhupada is saying that. And in this verse, Prabhupada emphasizes both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. So Krishna follows his own advice. We see Krishna and Balaram in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. Here's a guru. Lord Ram, Vashishta Muni, is the cool guru. And then surrenders to Vishwamitra when he comes and takes Lord Ram to go kill the demons. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sets the example. Ishvara Puri is his spiritual master. We see Brahma, his disciple and son is Narad Muni. And we see Vyasadev, the disciple of Narad Muni. The parampara is coming. All of them are setting these examples to accept and surrender to a spiritual master. And they are beyond the imperfections. So by the example they're showing us. So the acharyas in our line, they all had spiritual teachers, spiritual masters. They surrendered themselves. So, this is an important subject matter. We should pay careful attention, because it's to relieve you and remove you from your entanglement in this material nature in which we are under the false concept that we are the creator and the proprietor of all that we survey. We think we are many gods. So stay with us, listen, take prasad. The position of the bona fide guru. What is the position of the bona fide guru? So this Guru Tattva is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The verse, I'm going to go through translations now because I'm looking at the clock. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is considered non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna is in the form of the spiritual master delivers his devotees. The relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, Krishna is explaining in Srimad Bhagavatam, Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. But the spiritual master himself, right, in his consciousness, he will not say that. But we have to understand that he's not an ordinary person, and he's the representative of Krishna. He's to be considered as non-different from Krishna. So if one thinks of the spiritual master as an ordinary person, then your life, spiritual life also is doomed. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, again, Canto 7, Chapter 15, Text 26, Srila Prabhupada, the translation of that verse is, the spiritual master should be considered to be directly the Supreme Lord because he gives transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. So Prabhupada in the purport says, one may argue by saying that since the spiritual master's relatives and the men of his neighborhood consider him an ordinary human being, what is the fault on the part of the disciple who considers the spiritual master an ordinary human being? You see, in the family, when one becomes a spiritual master, one becomes a guru, the family members don't see him in that way. Why? You can't see the wood for the trees because you're too close. You're blinkered by your relationship, thinking the person is ordinary. But the disciple, if the disciple says, oh, the family members think he's ordinary, then he is ordinary. But that is to the detriment of your spiritual life. The spiritual teacher is not ordinary. So, the Supreme Lord, extracting from the purports, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives real knowledge to the entire world, and the spiritual master, as the representative of the Supreme Godhead, carries the message throughout the world. Therefore, on the absolute platform, there is no difference between the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because the Lord is speaking the knowledge, and the spiritual master is coming in the parampara and representing that knowledge perfectly, is speaking the same message. So on the absolute platform, there is no difference. All of the spiritual teachers coming from the time Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, they are repeating the same message. And Srila Prabhupada repeated that message, and because of his purity and understanding, he was able to use particular metaphors in his purport that explain the situation according to our context, and we can see, yes, this makes sense. So the spiritual master should be considered in that light by one who is very serious about making advancement. So we want to understand This is a big subject matter, and it's covered in the ISKCON Disciples course that those who are wanting to advance in spiritual life should inevitably attend and understand this in a deeper way. So, just the Aarti may start, but I think I just need a few minutes to complete or summarize. So there are different types of gurus, and this we want to understand is that the two categories, there are 4 categories actually. There's this Vatma Pradakshaka Guru. Somebody who is not even a spiritual person, who just introduces you to Krishna consciousness, gives you the inspiration to go. It can be even a drunk father who will say, son, don't be like me. Don't end up like me. You go there to the temple, join the devotees. That's a Vatma Pradakshaka Guru. He gave you the first inspiration to go. You came, you became a devotee. And you delivered your father also by your own practice. Right? So, the other understanding is that the spiritual master resides in the heart as Chaitya Guru. So the Paramatma, the super soul in your heart, directs the wandering of the living entities. And when you are serious about your spiritual life, then you become directed to this. Jai Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So the Spirit, the Paramatma directs you to the association of the devotees. Or if you are really thinking desperately, oh my Lord, I've been suffering and suffering, I need some help, please, please, please. The minute you step out of your car, one devotee comes, Hare Krishna Prabhu, would you mind taking this book? It will give you the essence of spiritual life, it will help you. Then you say, Hare Krishna, I was just thinking about this. Yes, I've been looking for this Bhagavad Gita. This Chaitya Guru. But the Chaitya Guru becomes manifest externally as the Guru, the Diksha Guru. Initially, we have so many devotees, they instruct us in spiritual life. They give us instructions. So the instruction is known as Shiksha. So they are Shiksha Gurus, because the word Guru ends with an N. Gurun means plural. But at some stage, as you understand the gravity of this linking yourself to a spiritual teacher, spiritual master, then you'll accept. It could be one of the Shiksha Gurus who themselves are already Gurus. They've been instructing you and instructing you. Inevitably, they'll become your Diksha Guru. Then you surrender to them and you take this initiation. Harinam Diksha. That's why they call Diksha. You are now accepting the holy name from that and vowing before the sacrificial fire to follow these regulated principles. So, there are different levels of understanding. So, we want to encourage you that to please, particularly those who are coming new, understand Srila Prabhupada's preeminent position, preeminent Shiksha Guru. He is the instructing spiritual master for all of us. And when you come to ISKCON, try to develop a relationship with Srila Prabhupada through his books, through hearing about him, watching his videos, listening to his classes. Become fixed in this knowledge. And then by that mercy, Srila Prabhupada will send you a bona fide disciple or guru in his line, but to whom you can surrender and receive further instructions. So now you know who is the necessity of a guru, who is a genuine guru, right? And why we should actually surrender in this. So let us not try to jump over and see we can approach Krishna directly. Let's follow through the parampara. We have to understand that Srila Prabhupada's position cannot be eclipsed by anyone. And the current spiritual masters in ISKCON are only gurus by the dint of their relationship and understanding of the position of Srila Prabhupada. The minute they become antagonistic to Srila Prabhupada's position or his body of ISKCON, then they do themselves a disservice, because they can be dismissed from their positions, and if there's a slight deviation, they may be rectified through a process of rectification. But if the misdemeanor is too gross, then a spiritual master can also be rejected by the disciple as well as dismissed by. So we have in place both the spiritual and the legal aspects of keeping the sanctity of ISKCON intact, and the sanctity of this most essential relationship, the disciple and guru. Thank you very much. We'll stop there because now we have Aarti, but if there's anybody has one question, we can try and take that. Prabhu, Shakshi Gopal Prabhu, mic for Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Smita Krishna Prabhu. Please put your hand together for Prabhu. I think you do a very good presentation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, there's one, although we know that's a very vast topic that you chose.
Yes.
You only just touched a little bit of, we can have a whole seminar in that. There's one thing I'd like to just, there shouldn't be any misunderstanding. No, not exactly. I don't have to add anything. Your presentation was, excellent. Just there shouldn't be any misunderstanding of you not accepting a Vyasasan. So I just want to make it clear that actually you are qualified to accept the Vyasasan. Hare Krishna. And in fact, if you're able to speak and guide people, I think you are eligible to accept the Vyasasan. In fact, not only for yourself, but because the scripture you're talking about, it should be respected and given a high platform at the same time. That's why we're supposed to be sitting on the ground and the speaker elevated platform, because the Bhagavatam is not different from the Lord. Just Hare Krishna, I just want to add that.
Thank you very much, Shakshi Gopal Prabhu. Shakshi Gopal Prabhu is my senior. He was involved in the ISKCON management in Mauritius for a very long time. And then he's come to South Africa. He's the Dharampati of the most wonderful Patni, Champak Lata, on that side, if you don't know. So, you come newly, you don't know these devotees, but he's very senior. And firstly, his compliment to me is because he's my friend, so he's biased. And secondly, I take the instruction from you that Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. has to be elevated. So I put it on a table at least. But I can understand the principle. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we should then approach the spiritual master in the mood of how Arjuna approached, and he said to Krishna after his bewilderment that, now I am confused about my duty. Remember that? And I've lost all my composure because of miserly weakness. Karpanya doso pahata swabhava prichami tvam dharma samudacheta. So, in this mood, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is the best for me. Now I'm a soul surrendered unto you and a disciple. Please instruct me. Okay, so that's the mood in which to approach the spirituality. So let us rise for Artik. Thank you so much to everybody. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Smita Krishna Prabhu, for an insightful and thought-provoking class. So Prabhu spoke about seeking a genuine guru and thus taking initiation. So there are contact cards available with contact details for initiation and for the Bhaktivedanta College of Education and Culture, which aligns courses towards initiation. So you can collect these cards on your way out of the temple room from Rasaraj Prabhu in the foyer. So devotees, just a few announcements before we have Kirtan. There's a few dates that we need to diarize. This coming Tuesday, the 23rd of April, is a wonderful spiritually busy day. It is Sri Balaram Rasa Yatra, Sri Krishna Vasanta Rasa, the anniversary of the appearance of Sri Radhakund and Hanuman Jayanti. Then this Friday, the 26th of April, there will be an evening program with a wonderful visiting devotee, His Grace Vijaya Das. He is the International Minister for Book Distribution. So he will be doing an evening program this Friday, and you can look on social media for updates about this evening program. Then next week, Sunday, the 28th of April, a wonderful program of appreciation for Rath Yatra 2024. So please attend that program. Then Prabhu also mentioned the visit by His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj will be visiting South Africa, Durban for the first time. So it would be wonderful. Make note of these dates. That's the May 15th till the 21st. Maharaj is a spiritual author, a community mentor, and he's a dynamic teacher. So it would be wonderful to have his association. Devotees, today's Sunday Love Feast Prasadam has been prepared by the Giletsna Mahata. So a big thank you to Giletsna Mahata, which is led by His Grace Sampati Prabhu. So big thank you to Prabhu and his wonderful team. So as Prabhu mentioned, thank you to the new people who joined us today. Welcome again to you. It's wonderful. Yes, let's give them a Haribol. It's wonderful to have you with us. Do stay till the end, and there will be prasadam served in the white marquee at the bottom. So now we'll continue with Aarti and Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Radhanath Radha, Radhanath Radha. Jaya Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Haribol, Nitai Gora Haribol. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol.
Shabbat Abai Charadar Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Dabacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinatha Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jaburabai Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Sabhavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Radharat Ki Jai, Shri Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, His Godfather Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Namaste Narsingaya Namaste Narsingaya Pralada Lada Dayene Tanya kya kimo vasyaha Hiradankana kadaye Ito nishingo parato nishingo Yado yamida do nishingo Mahe nishingo vida de nishingo Narashinga Vadim Sarada Prapade Avangara Kabalavade Nakavat Putasringa Danita Hiranya Gasiva Dadabringa Dishavadina Harahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavarina Narahari Rupa Jai Jagarisha Hare Jai Jagarisha Hare Jai Jagarisha Hare Jaya Nasingade, 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 Jaya Nasingade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Go Premanande.
Hare Krishna. So prasadam is served at the bottom, at the tent. So please go and take prasadam. Be mindful of the etiquette. Allow the elderly to go to the front. And mums with young babies. And devotees, please do not cut through the lines. It's not very good to do that. And assist those who need assistance down there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.